What is going on? Welcome to episode 133 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Hate Zero couldn't make it because we're doing this show a day early because I just got some family stuff I got to deal with tomorrow. So you guys get a show early, but we got something special going on tonight. So Player 2 tonight, Kirby, Geek, Mel, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, good.
Good. Player 3, the original co-host of the NPC, Destinaut. Welcome back, my friend.
Hello.
If you guys don't know, he's full of salt, but we love him. We love him. The music you're hearing is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. There you can check out something awesome like a Ready Player One or, lots of stuff. What's the other one? Console Wars? Yeah, that's a good one. Check that one out as well. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. If you go to n64josh.com/OPSeat, you will automatically save $10 at checkout. And I love this gaming chair. So go check them out. That's n64josh.com/OPSeat. Let's get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
We do the show live on twitch.tv/N64Josh, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay? I am streaming most mornings at 4 a.m. I may have slept in a little today because I couldn't sleep very well last night.
Way too early.
But pretty much every day, 4 a.m., 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We're streaming Smash, and it's a good time. Although Wednesday, since we're going to be out of town, I will be skipping that day. And Fridays at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we still have our first looks going on. And we had a good time checking out a few games this last week. So we're going to get into our reviews and impressions. All right, Kirby Geek, tell me, what have you been playing this last weekend, and what would you recommend what you've been playing this last weekend?
Okay, so the main two things I'm playing is Valkyrie Chronicles 4 and Wander Song. Only in Chapter 7 in Valkyrie Chronicles, so that's still kind of early to me. Okay. So I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
My full impression on that.
Has it grabbed you though? Like, are you excited to keep going with it, or are you slowing down with it?
Oh, both actually, because like there's these little side stories you can do, those instead of the main story. Mm-hmm. So I would have been further along. It's just I've been sidetracked by this other side stuff. Because if you combine certain people and you use them in a match, if their like friendship level goes up or whatever, you can get like the side story you can do. And it's another map and it has like a different backstory with them. So you learn more about the characters. It's just very picky because they like only certain people. It's like Brittany likes Ashley, but Ashley doesn't like Jeffrey, but Jeffrey likes Brittany, kind of thing. You have to situate them all around together. And then they all have like these little potential things. They can either be positive or negative. Like one of my girls is like, I don't like guns. I'm like, why are you here? Like,
So what happens if you combine two that don't like each other? Does it just make it that much harder?
It kind of does. Because like I have this one guy. He's like, he doesn't like to be around women because, they scare him. So, so when he's around them, he can't really aim well. So he misses more shots, or he just won't like move around as much. So you got to move him away from the women, or you just can't use him if you have too many of them. So you have to play like musical chairs with these things.
Wow.
But I love that stuff. I love that stuff because apparently I spent like 20 hours in this game already. So I'm loving it. And Wander Song. Wander Song is this little musical game. Mm-hmm. It's story based. It's not that long. It took me like around 10, 11 hours to beat this thing. But if it grabs you, it really grabs you, kind of thing. This is not going to be for everybody because again, it's mainly story based. Because there is gameplay involved, which is which you can name because you just can't type in Josh. I can't type in Mel. Like it gives you like this little wheel, and you just have to pick random letters. And I messed up like the first couple of times because I was not spelling any actual words because I didn't know what letters were popping up. Lime, because that's like the only word I know how to spell with the letters they gave me. But anyway, the main weapon is singing. You don't have like a sword. There's no guns. Only sing.
Only sing. Huh. Is this my kind of game?
You have to read. So no.
So on a scale of Josh would play this for 5 minutes or Josh would play this for 7 minutes, where does he fall on that scale?
Joshua played this for like 2 minutes, and then he would talk
Oh.
about 3 minutes of why he's not going to play it. Main guy actually reminds me of Josh. Because he's like this very positive guy. And he tries to, bring up people. He's like, hey, you have potential. You have Liz. You're not like a loser or anything. You got something. But he also has other emotions too. He's not always this happy-go-lucky thing, which is also really interesting because he's really depressed. And again, his main weapon is singing. So instead of going like la 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 la, he's like la la la, I want to die, kind of thing.
Sounds like me in 8th grade.
So
emo.
they use this little wheel on the right Joy-Con stick. You have to use that little stick, and sometimes it's like Simon Says, sometimes it's like Guitar Hero, and then sometimes you're making your own little music, and then other times you're controlling like a pirate ship with it, or like you're like fighting against wind, that kind of stuff. So they added little tweaks and turns to this thing, and there is some platforming to where you can sing and you can like turn like objects around and stuff. I personally really enjoyed this. It's just, again, if you're not like really story based, this isn't really challenging to play kind of thing.
So it's more to just get through the story and like experience it.
Yeah, totally. It's really funny, and it's gonna hit people.
Wait, is this the one you tweeted about?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so and you were like, oh, this game totally gets me because like 3 separate people are just like, I hate life, and then the 4th one's like, I don't have any money.
That's
Okay.
all the stuff I've been posting lately. It's been from that game, and those little clips where game kind of glitched on me. Like there was like one room like I entered and I just kept falling constantly. It was like this big loop of just falling and falling. I still don't know how I got out of it. The developer, they posted a little message on how to get out of stuff like that.
So
Really
like
enjoyed.
putting out tips on how to fix glitches in their own game.
Because they don't have the patch out yet, so it's like you can do this in the meantime, kind of thing. Before the game just came out Thursday, so.
Well, they've already went up to Activision, so.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing mostly. I did a little of and I actually had 2 funny moments, and I'm really upset that I couldn't capture them because they took that away from me.
Wait, what game did you play? You cut out.
I played a little of Fortnite
Oh.
because my friends wanted to play.
Nice.
We did awful. We didn't do anything, but
Hey.
we had 2 funny moments I wanted to post, and I couldn't.
I did see your double grab during the. Were you playing the Party Crash this weekend?
Yeah, because after we were done Fortnite, we were joking. I'm like, let's play ARMS. I'm like, okay, I'll totally play ARMS. And we just played ARMS and we did the Party Crash. And I went up for that round. And me and this random guy just grabbed at the same exact time.
Yeah,
Pretty cool, so I saved it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool to see. Destiny, how about you, my friend? What have you been playing?
Based off of, I think it was either your first look or your just one of your random plays. I picked up what is that, Blade Waifus or whatever that game is,
Blade Strangers.
fighting game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked that up. I'm actually enjoying it.
Oh, good.
it's like a weird button system. I kind of don't like the fact that it's like, okay, you got 4 buttons. Well, actually, what's 6? I don't know. But then there's like you press each button once, or you can press like A and B at the same time, and then B and Y at the same time, and X. So it's like really this game needs like a 9-button controller to play. But other than that, I like it. It's the story is abysmal. It's if there even is a story, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm liking it. I think it's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that one.
Did you unlock all the characters yet?
I've only played the anime girls so far, so no.
Okay. Any other Switch games?
No, but I've played a future Switch game that I think is still like pending 2018. I started playing Warframe.
Okay.
And I did this because I used to play a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I played like a handful of MMOs back in the day, probably like early 2000s. So like, World of Warcraft, there was a Star Wars one, not the current Star Wars one, that was an older one. I think like Guild Wars. And I was just like, there's nothing like this on Switch. So I think I just typed in Switch MMOs. Mm-hmm. And the only one that popped up was Warframe. And I'm like, well, wait, that's out now on PC, so I'll just check it out. And it's actually really fun. I know you and I have a past, and maybe there's still some people lingering around. I don't know why, but some from the Destiny days still in the chat.
Right.
It's very Destiny-ish, where you can like, it's about loot and going into a level, and it's not necessarily about it almost becomes not about the level itself. It's just about like what I can get from that level. So there's a lot of like, replaying levels if you want to. I've just scratched the surface. So, but so far it's very fun. Their version of like raids or strikes or whatever, it's like automatically it auto loads other people in there with you. You don't, I wasn't even sitting in a room. Like, I don't think I was. Maybe the game tricked me into thinking I was, but I wasn't even in a lobby or anything. So when that does come to Switch, I'm hoping it comes over like with 100% of the features, and it's not like, hey, you guys get the single player.
Right.
Like so often happens with games, when they're ported and whatnot. So no, but I'm enjoying that. So hopefully it comes to the Switch sooner than later.
Yeah,
start playing it on there.
It's supposed to be this year. I don't know that we've seen a firm date on it. Did you ever play? I think the game was called like Lost Sector or whatever. It was a 360 title.
It sounds super familiar.
So it's one of their early. It's the same team, and what it is, it was you played as a guy who had like this boomerang with blades, kind of like Krull, if you remember that. And
who doesn't?
Well, anybody that's young, and so.
Side note, how excited were you to see that in Ready Player One?
Pretty excited, not gonna lie.
Okay, moving on.
So that game was awesome. Dark Sector, I think is what it was called. Not Lost. I think it was Dark Sector. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. So, but it was one of those games I picked up on 360. It was an easy 1,000-point achievement, but I really had a good time with it. Like, it was one of the ones that was like, hey, this is 1,000 points and it's really fun. And then I didn't.
So you have no idea what the story is about. You couldn't tell us anything about the game, could you? Other than the guy enjoying Ninja Star, and you got 1,000 points from it.
No, not now. The gameplay was so fun. That's really what I remember liking about it.
Checking.
Was just it was similar to like. Kind of like your typical beat 'em up, like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry, kind of, but with a little more to it. So, pretty good title. So that's why I'm excited to play Warframe. Like, I tried it out when it came out on the One initially, but Super Nintendo says Warframe is November 20th on the Switch. So there we go. We do have a date. That's awesome. Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Well, this week I played Alwa's Awakening. It's $10 on the eShop. It is a kind of an 8-bit Metroidvania style game. It's not super long, and it was fun. It was fun. I think I did the first look. It was about 15 minutes or so, and like we were all digging the music. The graphics were cool. Gameplay was solid. Like overall, I think for a $10 pickup, if you're looking just to fill a void, it's one worth one worth checking out. I also picked up Towerfall, which I was like, I really wanted it to have multiplayer, like online multiplayer. It doesn't, but there is a handful of things you can do single player, and then of course you have couch multiplayer, same room multiplayer, that kind of thing. And the game is frantic but fun. Seeing I played as Madeline from Celeste, and so that was kind of cool. Overall, really really liked the game. Controlled well, looked cool, like solid title. So fingers crossed they will eventually patch in online multiplayer, because we could have a lot of fun on stream with that. Yeah, be a lot of fun. So the next up, this one's a little older, but I played Wizard of Legend, and pretty solid also. Like, it's a roguelike, which is pretty popular these days. Controlled well, the graphics were good, the pixel art was pretty cool, like overall, and it's been on sale forever. So if you can check it out if you're into it. Check out my first look. And then lastly,
that's the only way to stay relevant on the top of the eShop. Just saying.
Yeah, it is right now. That is true. The last one that I played was Undertale, and what a bizarre game. Like, so bizarre. I do want to put a little more time into this one. I picked it up. I got the physical copy of it. It has I believe it had like an instruction manual and stuff, which was pretty cool. So
it did.
I think it even had like gold foil on it. I was like, wow, this is fancy. So I would say I haven't put enough time into it to really get a good feel for it, but overall I was kind of intrigued by it, and I know it's not my type of game. I can tell you that right off the bat, right, Mel? It's not my type of game.
That's why you didn't even name yourself in it. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to use my name.
Oh, that's right. We named the character Mel.
This isn't worth my name. You'll be rolling credits on this thing in 22 years is what you're telling me.
In 22 years.
Even though it's like a 6-7 hour game. But yeah, you totally did.
All right.
So, and then Super Nintendo's asking if I played Dragon Ball FighterZ. I picked it up. I didn't have time to play it. I did play the beta. Loved the beta. I did a little just looking around online. Everybody has been reviewing it fairly well. Some are saying it's the best port on the Switch yet. So, I'm excited to jump into it, because I really, really enjoyed that beta. I thought it was a great fighting game. So,
have you watched people play it on Twitch, like high level play?
A little bit, yeah. It's unreal.
It's so frantic. Like I guess it's like pretty much how the anime is, completely over the top, giant explosions, people getting like thrown across the world. It looks super cool to watch that high level play versus, two people that like just bought it yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
I would recommend checking that out on Twitch. The only part I don't like about the game that I have seen so far is like if they wanted to make it a true port of like the show, you would just stand around and trash talk each other for like 20 hours and then fight. That's my only gripe.
There you go. There you
Next time.
Right. Yeah. Still just leveling up the entire time. So, and I did play. I jumped back into Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and played with Super Nintendo a little bit. Played with Benji, and just started doing some key quests, and it was really fun to get back into that game, especially since I spent so much time grinding it before it came out on Switch. I needed a little break, and that break was long enough, so it was good to jump back into that. That game is a lot of fun, and it was like Super Nintendo was just starting. Like he had just started the game, so it was really fun getting to jump in with him and help him start knocking out some key quests and start getting some money and loot. We're like, hey, you need to buy this. He's like, I don't have any money. I'm like, okay, we got you. So that was a lot of fun. And then of course I spent a bunch of time in Smash, and I completed a game, but we're going to talk about that in our talking points. So let's get to the news. All right. Well, Super Mario Party is out this week, and so far the reviews and impressions have seemed pretty positive. Mel, have you been able to check out any gameplay or seen any of the reviews or anything?
I saw a little bit of the Game Explain showing like all of the mini games. I didn't watch all of them because I'm already super bummed out I'm not getting this.
Oh,
But it does look like a lot of an improvement from our last couple of Mario Party games.
it
Because the last
does.
couple just kind of seemed like, it was like on auto. We'll put this out. It's Mario Party kind of thing. These actually seem kind of fun. It's just, again, so whatever, Nintendo.
It's- seems like a lot of content from what I'm gathering. Like, and I think you only miss out on like one game or game mode. I think it's one game. I'm not positive if you don't have two copies of the game and two switches. Like you're able to do it's that the game where you
Little
put the
tank thing?
I think you can still play the tank game. I think there's a banana game that you can't play. I was listening to Nintendo voice chat talk about it today, and I think they were the ones that mentioned it. So
Man, I'd rather banana game over a tank.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So
I don't even know what it is, and it sounds better.
yeah, right. So I mean, Destinat, are you first in line for Mario Party? This is your jam, right?
Yeah, I'm all about this. If you go to my personal webpage, it's just pages and pages of no. Okay. So first off, I'm gonna sorry everyone if I sound like Josh right now, but I've never played a Mario Party. I've literally owned every single Nintendo console. I bought the Wii, but it's at my parents' house. I think we bowled on it for a day and then never played it again, like the rest of the world. But I've never played a Mario Party, and maybe it's because I just didn't have enough friends to play it, like I don't know. This is like the typical Nintendo, like, hey, bring all 30 of your friends over to play. And it's like, no, I'm the first half of that Switch commercial where it's like it was a girl, but I'm by myself like playing the Switch and everyone's like, come outside, and I'm like, deuces, like throwing up middle fingers, and I'm not coming outside. So, Zelda's not gonna beat itself, people. So yeah, no, I'm just not into them. I guess if I was like at a party and someone had it, I would play it. But I don't have any calluses in the middle of my hand, and
Right,
yeah.
no scars.
That was like the trademark, friendship as a kid, just having that.
How are they gonna if they have that game or a similar game on the Switch? I don't think the Joy-Con sticks can take it. Those things, first of all, are smaller, and I think they're more fragile. We might have another epidemic on our hands.
Here's the thing with this, from the few mini games I played, there's a lot of motion control tied to this thing.
Okay.
And when you mix the HD rumble in with it, like when you're flipping meat in a pan, it as you're seeing it move on the screen, you're feeling it move in your hand, and it's not just your typical rumble. It's like, oh, if it fell to one side, you can tell it fell to that side.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
yeah, it really is. It's nuts. It was surprising playing that mini game where you flip the meat to cook it, and it was like, this is really immersive. The HD Rumble really takes it up a level. So Super Nintendo is saying you only miss out on the banana matching game. So I was correct there. So this is one, like, we're trying to hype it up with my daughters a little bit, and we're like, hey, we're gonna get some snacks, and we're just gonna play. So we'll see. Like, I
Wait,
try to
food
play
in the game?
I
No.
try to play games with my kids, but a lot of times they're just like, Dad, we have Instagram. What do we need you for? I'm like, good
Well,
point.
but that's just it. Like, this game, I think, is the perfect game for either large families or gatherings, parties,
Instagram, just
stuff like that. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, if you're one of those people that's probably more into like a JRPG, this probably isn't the game for you. But yeah, I think it's a perfect party game, and it requires like zero investment into it to actually get enjoyment out of it. Kind of like marriage.
What I know what a lot of people want, and what I keep hearing, a lot of people want it to get back to its roots. Like, let us play on a board, let us collect stars. All the stuff that we liked with classic Mario Party seems to be back with added things. Like, and again, this could be a game that we see DLC for. And I know a lot of us are hoping that we're going to see a patch for greater online, that it's not just going to be mini games. But something to keep in mind is that, like, they talked about it on NBC. Like, it took them 45 minutes to play through a single game. So I can kind of see why they wouldn't do the online board game, but at the same time, like, we got cloud saves. Just let us save our spot. You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds like the future, but maybe we could do that. Just be able to save and pick it back up. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this.
Shocker.
Well, hey, it's Mario Party. I get to play as Mario.
Honestly, he still has the game because he bought that eBay list and he just hasn't shown us yet. That's all.
No, I wouldn't. My wife would have thrown me out of the house if that thing had shown up. So I guarantee it.
Did you send it off somewhere else? Like,
yeah, I had it mailed to my parents' house, so she wouldn't see it. So they're asking why Kirby can't get it, and it's because there's no online board game, right? That's the deal breaker for you, Belle?
Yeah, I'm not getting it just for little mini games.
Yep.
It has to be the board. Because my friends and I, we are big enough nerds to where we will set a day and time to complete a whole game of Mario Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hope that there's enough feedback from people that we get to see. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard for them to patch it in, after the fact. So fingers crossed. Okay, this is crazy news. This is the power of Fortnite here. You can now combine your Fortnite accounts and play with everyone. PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, everybody's all friends in the playground finally, in Fortnite at least. And I know Rocket League is wanting similar. They want to see this happen with them as well. But my question was, when this happened, is what is going to a lot of these people have two accounts, right? So you have your Switch account and your PlayStation account. Well, you can go on to Epic's site. I don't know all the details, but I know you can go on to Epic's site and basically merge your two accounts, so you can get access to all of your skins. So that means if you're planning on, you're probably not listening to this if you don't have a Switch, but you're waiting for the Fortnite Switch to come out on October 5th so you can get that skin. You can now use that skin on your Xbox. You can use it on your PlayStation. And Xbox has an exclusive skin. PlayStation's getting more exclusive skins. So, you'll be able to see those all over the place.
Did they put out like a statement at all? Like, kind of like a why now thing? I mean, everyone wanted it. And I'm sure that was like the number one question to Sony. I was like, why can't I do this? But did they or was it just like people woke up one day and it was there?
I don't know that there was much more than just. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. Let's put it that way. Like, did Fortnite throw their weight around and say, "Hey, maybe we could just pull this game off of here if you guys don't." That's a big risk for them. That's a big risk for them. But I don't know.
I hope they did that so hard. Just to be like, look, I'm all for all consoles, but I mean, every once in a while, I always hear these horror stories about how like, Nintendo screwed over the little guy with their, quality control system. And like, you probably heard the stories how back in the day, it was like you had to make like 3 games for the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Otherwise you couldn't get one on there. And it's like, I just hope one day the little guy was just kind of like, they're like, nope, we want this. Or we could pull our game. How about that? And Sony just going like, no, slow down.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll do it.
And again, I have no. That's literally just speculation.
In my mind, it happened. Okay.
But,
all right.
So Nightcrawler says Sony's statement was they figured out how to make it work. That's funny because it worked initially until they turned it off.
Bob, flip the switch.
Yeah.
Hey,
did you actually read this statement? It's like Sony's like crossplay is still the best way to play. Because beforehand it was like playing on Sony was the best way to play. Now it's like Sony's crossplay is the best way to play.
My goodness. Anyway, good news for the gamer. Anyway,
yeah, good on them.
If you're between the two consoles, you can now merge your accounts, so that's good. Amiibo, the new the Smash re-releases. The packaging. The packaging is slightly different than the original.
Therefore, you must have it.
No.
Yeah.
No, here's
How
what
much does it kill you?
here's
But
what
it's different. How are you going to complete your collection unless you have the different boxes?
you know what? I'm
Second
good.
collection, because he needs a collection of all the new boxes and a collection of all the old boxes.
Very true.
So Mr. Cool Red
It's
Luigi's
making
saying, why do
fun.
they still have the Wii U Smash logo? Look, they're just re-releases of those. They added the little square, like red Nintendo box that's been on since the Switch came out, indicating that they're Switch amiibo versus Wii U amiibo. I guess. I mean, that's just since Breath of the Wild, we've seen the logo change, and they've added that little red rectangle. They added a switch to the graphics on the back. It still includes the Wii U and the 3DS, which is weird that it has the Wii U on there, but it does.
Are they still officially supporting the Wii U? Or have they officially said, we're done with Wii U?
It just it had a stability update like less than a month ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only games coming out on it that I know of are probably Kickstarters that are still trying to fulfill, and Just Dance, because Just Dance is still releasing on the Wii. So that, that'll be going on forever. But so new packaging. If you're wanting to complete that collection, you're going to have a better chance now. Who knows now that like Toys R Us isn't a player, at least in the States. If they start doing exclusives, it's probably going to just be between Amazon, Best Buy, and GameStop.
And Target.
Oh yeah, Target
a lot
had
of exclusive
Target.
stuff at Target now.
Target had Rosalina. Target has
They
these.
do Walmart? Did Walmart have any? I know Walmart had like the gold Mario.
Walmart
I
had
don't think-
gold Mario. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. So, but as far as so that I don't like that. I don't like tonight. This is moving and still speaking of Amiibo, but Mega Man 11. My GameStop is having a midnight release for Mega Man 11. Like they must have had an insane number of pre-orders for this game or something. Cause like, but the only place to get that Amiibo for Mega Man 11, GameStop. It's exclusive there. So, and hopefully a lot of times they're timed exclusives, but some of these ones that were on Smash weren't like you couldn't find some of these things for a long time. And what I was hoping the packaging would be the same is because some of my boxes have like little wrinkles in the corners and things like that. They're not mint. So I was like, cool, I can replace them. But now that they're different packaging, it's not technically from the same line. So
A new line.
yeah.
All new.
No, I can't do it again.
Can't or won't.
I can't do it. I can't. I want to stay married. So okay. The Virtual Boy
What?
maybe making a return. No, I'm kidding. There is a VR type headset being made by a Canadian company, and it wants to. This is what their tagline is, and the way the wording is, and some of the words are large, some of them are very small. It says it wants to immerse you in passive 3D.
Hearing this makes me sick.
Yeah, Destin, how do you feel about getting immersed in passive 3D?
You don't have video on me right now. Okay, so because I live in the future and game on PC mainly,
Yeah.
I was heavily this week looking into VR headsets, and I stopped myself because they've already announced the next generation, which might not even come out till 2020. But they've made huge improvements. Now, this is so many steps backwards, it's mind-boggling. So like, you put their Switch, which weighs what, 50 pounds on its own,
Yep.
in the front of this visor.
Yes.
And one of the selling features, which I saw the bullet point, was leave your Joy-Cons connected. Yeah, because that's what I need. I want to see a kid with that on his face playing with the Joy-Con, like as he's gaming. I need to see that first of all. If you ever see that, please
What
send me the
happened?
photos. Oh man, but like, it's funny too because they're like, we have all these workarounds, like because it's 720p on the system itself, but they're like, they've got some type of like smearing technology they're gonna use to like get this thing to like not be super screen door effect. And then it also said on there that I don't know if it's the same 3D that the 3DS uses, but it's like something about with colors where it's gonna make like certain colors shift, I guess, to give the illusion of 3D. I'm already colorblind like the other 33% of males on this planet. So it probably won't do anything for me. So this whole thing like reeks of just it'll be in the bargain bin next week. Mark my words.
I think if you pre-order it, you can save $50. So this
whole thing is about $20 max worth of material.
If like the best option here is like, let's make a Labo kit that you could just like Google Cardboard or whatever, you know.
I mean, you could totally do that if you wanted.
Yeah. Is this for you, Mel? Are you excited for this immerse yourself in passive 3D?
Stop saying that word.
I can't even handle like first person. Why do I want like something attached to my face
I got
and
you.
then way too expensive? It just sounds like it's an expensive headache, and like
Yep.
later I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, here's what's really funny about this thing. Like, I kid you not, I'm looking at NintendoLife.com, looking at this thing. First of all, like, it's not short. The distance the Switch hangs out from your face, I don't even know how you're going to keep your head up, right? So as I scroll down, there's an ad, and it says something like, interesting, useful items or whatever, and it's literally this thing that's holding up this woman's head like a little, like, just a head hammock is what it looks like hanging from the ceiling. And I'm like, how, like, you would almost have to buy that thing in order to use this VR headset. So, you know, I was laughing.
I want everyone to do a test right now. Okay, literally take your hand, put it in front of your face, slowly move it away until it comes into focus. That's how far away this thing has to be.
Yeah, and the thing the article points out is like Nintendo's they're not gonna make any games to support this thing, you know.
Oh
so
boy,
like
what a shame.
yeah, right. They're asking Sniper 3300 is asking if there's a tripod accessory. There's not, but it's red and black. So I mean, you know, I wonder if they know this is just like, if this is just ironic or if they really think it's gonna sell, you know. And I mean, I don't know.
Probably believe in it, man. I mean, they wouldn't go this far.
Yeah, it could be.
It's probably
you
started
know
off
what?
as a joke, you know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it stays that way too, because there's no place for this thing at all. Like, and you know what? I just figured out the color changing tech. You remember back? Josh remembers. Remember back when the back of GI Joe's had that little code, and you had to put the red filter over it to read it?
Of course.
There's probably a red plastic filter in there, and you put your Switch up against it, and it's just a red lens. Really bringing back the nostalgic feeling of VR from the Virtual Boy. Buy it now.
Right.
Would you?
In passive 3D. So
3D not guaranteed.
exactly. All right. Moving right along. Nintendo Online 12-month prepaid cards are selling extremely well, according to one major Japanese retailer. So you have people that don't want to put their credit card information on the Switch, so they're buying these 12-month prepaid cards, and apparently they're doing really well. I guess there's no like definitive numbers on how well the service is selling, but in Japan at least, this is a pretty good indicator that that people are buying it. People are buying it. So, and it's really no surprise, right? And I'm actually kind of curious on your thoughts of this. I mean, you've spoken stuff during chat and things like that, but what do you think about this about the online service?
Okay, so I purchased it because I'm like, you know what? I like to casually play Splatoon every once in a while. So I bought the service, and since I bought the service, I haven't touched Splatoon. So,
Of course.
totally worth it. It's for me. Well, I don't know. See, I don't have the list in front of me. I don't have the list of games that overlap from the NES Classic to this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very good for, like, if you really, really did want an NES Classic for the games, because you're like, I don't even care that this thing's tiny or that it's a mini Nintendo. Like, I just want the games, and I'm not even gonna go into the whole. Some people get very, very up in arms about the piracy thing and whatnot. So, like, you're just like, hey, I want to buy some Nintendo games, and the NES Classic came out. I want to buy that for the games, and you couldn't find it. This is a very good way, I think, maybe 50% of the games overlap.
It's
maybe
it's pretty close, yeah.
So, I mean, cool. You can get that feature now for what is it, $20 for the year, which is less than what an NES Classic would cost. So, I think it's really cool for that. I actually like it because I own the NES Classic and I think it's in the closet because I don't have the amount of HDMI ports to hook this thing up
Gotcha.
with all my other stuff. So, and it's the convenience factor, right? It's kind of like the whole reason people buy digital over physical. I think a lot of the times is like, dude, I can just fill up a card full of stuff and all my games are there. So I do think it's a really cool service. I'm not even gonna get into the whole like, but it's only $20. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. It's lacking, yet it scratches some itches. It's just not, and in my opinion, it's not a full product yet. Maybe it will get there, and maybe they'll charge whatever Xbox or Sony's charging us right now for stuff, and maybe it'll get there one day. But I don't know. This is like classic Nintendo. Watch, the next system won't even have online. That's literally how it's gonna go. The Switch Plus won't even have online because they're like, nah, we tried it. It didn't work, people. So yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Like, so I mean, it's cool for what it is. It's not superly overpriced. Am I like over the moon that I got it? And I'm like, yeah, this is everything I wanted it to be that I was saying it wouldn't be, and it's somewhere in the middle. So that's where I'm at. I'm at a thumbs up, thumbs down.
I see. Okay. Mel, I assume I mean, are you surprised that it's selling so well in Japan?
I mean, they had to use it for Splatoon.
Yeah.
I mean, most of those kids are probably buying the cards because they don't have credit cards. And
Yeah.
they're not gonna ask like their parents and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder too, like what their infrastructure's like for like Wi-Fi on mobile transportation or on public transportation, things like that. I'm curious, like how many kids are able to play online games on, on the bus,
From
things like
what
that.
I understand, it's literally everywhere.
That's
Like I
awesome.
think their toilets have Wi-Fi there. Like this is from what I heard. I've never been to Japan. I've looked at. I from time to time look at like their current culture and whatnot and what's going on over there. But like, yeah, I think like literally everything has Wi-Fi there. Like you can't not get Wi-Fi.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's the future. It's literally the future.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense, and we know Splatoon is selling just gangbusters. Mario Kart still sells like crazy. So, yeah. And I mean, hopefully the service just continues to get better. Hopefully we continue to see. We know we're going to see more NES games. The list of games that you can play online seems to be, it seems to be growing on the regular. We're seeing quite a few games this holiday that are going to take advantage of the online. So $20, not too bad. But I still get comments in my YouTube videos, like people that are just angry, and I've been paying $60 a year to Xbox for 15 years. So, like $20 or $35 for 7 people to have it. I'm like, whatever. It's just
really funny because if you look on Twitter and stuff, like if you look on Japan side, they're like, "Thank you for letting us have like an extra amount of free time for the free service. I have no problem paying 20." If you look on our side with pitchforks and like torches, we're like, "You gonna pay $20? No, I'm gonna burn this place down." And Japan's like, "Thank you." It's just so bizarre,
Yeah, there's something about being entitled. So, Dragalia Lost is in the top grossing apps on iOS, top 10 grossing apps on iOS. I started playing this game today for a little bit, and I really am digging it. Like, I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but the first few minutes I played it, I was like, this is the game I knew that Nintendo would put out eventually. Something that you could play in portrait mode on your phone with one hand that is a game worth playing. Right? And it may not be for everybody, I know, because it's kind of like an action RPG, right? I mean, that basically sums it up, but it works so well to play with just your thumb. Like I was really shocked. Now I know Mel, you've played a little bit of it, but it just destroyed your battery, right?
Yeah. It just destroys it. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if it like evens out. Because I do like the gameplay and stuff. Can't have my phone die.
Right. Yeah. So, and it's the kind of thing too. Like you sign in daily, you get stuff. It's what I do with Fire Emblem Heroes, which I got to be the luckiest person in that game. Every time I get a free summon, I send it to Mel, and she's like, "Do you know how much money people are spending to get that right now?"
All the waifus.
You're like, I don't even want this.
I'm like, I don't even know what I'll do with
He's
this
like, I don't
thing.
know what this is.
Yeah.
You should just be like, I'll take it. I mean, it's garbage, but you can give it to me. I'll
Like, he got,
send
like,
it my way.
Like, how many Camillas you got? You got like 3 of them.
At least, yeah, at least. Like no joke. So,
Wow.
but have you checked this game out at all, Destinot?
Nope.
I mean, I would say at least download it, give it a go, and see what you think. Like, I seriously am surprised at how well it plays, and I'm like, man, I could see, like, kind of coming off of Xenoblade and that kind of stuff. I'm like, I could play this. Cayman says she's enjoying it from chat, so.
I think we can actually link up and do friend stuff too. I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Yeah,
I just don't mobile game. That's why.
I
would love to.
I'm just like you, man. Like, other than I check in every day on those few games, I don't. But this one, I was like, I could actually see myself playing that. I mean, I played Mario Run through completion, right? Because it's Mario,
You rolled quarter edits on Mario Run.
I did, yeah.
He made sure to beat that.
Yeah.
You and Miyamoto.
Oh boy. Moving right along. Speaking of Xenoblade, Monolith Soft says that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna the Golden Country have exceeded expectations outside of Japan, which is really, really good to hear because I want to see that series continue on. I mean, this is it technically the third game? Like, you got to help me out here, Mel. Like, I know there's like Xeno Saga. Is it tied to Xenoblade?
A little bit.
Okay.
But do like the Xenoblade 1 and 2 as like kind of like their own thing, but it's somewhat tied. Kind of, because I know like one of the from Xenosaga, because I actually got her, and like I know all the notes are extremely mad because she's like the hardest one to get.
So, to me, like, I'm stoked because it's gonna mean we're gonna get more from them, right? It could mean that we see ports of X and 1 make it over to the Switch. I'd really, really love to see that. Destin, I know you picked this game up, right? I don't know. Did you finish it though?
No, I haven't. However, that's on my to-do list. I've told myself I'm not gonna pick up anything else. I think I'm 25 hours into Dragon Quest 11 because I live in the future, even though it's not on Switch yet. Another game that I think you guys will like once it does hit there. If you like traditional JRPGs, you know how in Xenoblade you can, while fighting, you can kind of like move around if you want to, but there isn't necessarily like a reason to. Mm-hmm. Like it has the same mechanic, or you can actually go into the menu and tell it, no, just do traditional JRPG where I'm standing in a line in front of another line of enemies. The camera is still active while doing that, but yeah, it's traditional JRPG. It's a kind of a linear story so far. Anyways, maybe I'll hit open world later, but yeah, and it's cool, and it looks just like Dragon Ball Z because it's by the same artist. So, but yeah, I told myself I'm gonna play that first. I'm gonna beat the main story. Then I purchased Final Fantasy 15 because it was on sale. So I'm like, okay, that's next, and then I'm gonna go back and do Xenoblade.
Well, you have to finish Xenoblade because Josh actually beat that. You can't let that.
True, but I probably will beat the expansion before he does, so I'm not really worried. Which I've heard it uses a different engine for rendering, so it's good to hear it's not a port.
It actually does.
Yeah, it looked better to me when I initially saw
It's
it.
smoother, the cutscenes.
I never really had a problem with when you play it on not handheld, I played it docked. It gets a little fuzzy. So yeah, good to see that that's boosted there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along, Nightcrawler let me know in the chat, and I remember seeing, I just forgot to add it to the notes. Birdo is now available in Mario Tennis Aces. All you got to do is jump into tournament mode, play one round, lose one match, win one match. It doesn't matter. And Birdo will be available to you. Kirby, have you checked in with Aces to see what happened now? Like, is there going to be new hats and stuff available?
Oh no, I forgot to check. I'll check after, and you can say on Thursday or not.
Yeah, so we got to look into that, see how that's working. To see, I'm curious too because I didn't get a chance to jump in and try it. So it could be that I'm not going to get access to those hats, or they're going to be available immediately. Which that's what they've been doing with the characters. So it might be the case. So we will find out. And I see Mrs. Destina is in the chat. Hello, good to see you.
It's the only way she can talk to me.
Okay, so this might be exciting news for some people. I've never played the series at all, but Shenmue 1 and 2, it says being considered for the Switch. Like, it sounds like the localization producer, from my understanding, is that the team would like to see it on the Switch. They would like to be able to see these games played on the go. They were just announced for PS4 and Xbox One as HD remakes, but they don't know if it's going to be possible at this time. So I don't know what the hangup is. I don't know if they can't get it to run on the hardware. I don't know if they want to see how well it's going to do on these other systems and then maybe try to bring it to another one. I'm not sure what the case is. But Mel, if this game came over to Switch, is it something you would jump into?
If they fix some of these patches, yeah, I'll try it.
Oh, is there issues with the game?
Yeah, there's a couple. I don't know if they're finished or not, because it's been a while since I looked at it. But
Nice.
I never played these, so they usually be like totally brand new to me. So I would try it out.
Okay. Destinat, do you have any history with these?
No, and I really don't care about it if I'm going to see a port of anything, I need Nier to come over to Switch. Otherwise, I don't care about any other port
Yeah,
in the history of ever.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So Amazon has canceled pre-orders of Daemon X Machina, and then there's also been rumblings that GameStop has unlisted the game from their website. The only place you can still find it, at least as of recording, was Best Buy. And so now, if it was just Amazon, there's issues with Amazon and Nintendo in France right now. Nintendo is pulling Smash Bros, Mario Party, and Switch consoles off of the Amazon store because Amazon keeps trying to sell the Switch for $20 less than other retailers. And so that, we're kind of wondering if that's a trickle effect, but the fact that it's also been unlisted from GameStop, it kind of has everybody wondering what is going on. Like, is this game okay? It seems super far along in development, so I can't imagine it's getting canceled. But, maybe what we saw was different from what they actually have. I don't know. And Mel, I mean, you experienced this firsthand, right? You woke up to the email from Amazon saying
Yeah,
they
it's like,
canceled
hey,
it.
your order's canceled. I was like, I didn't cancel anything. And I looked and I was like, no, I didn't cancel this. So, I searched online and sure enough, everybody who had it got it canceled.
And I mean, I
Because
went
at
under.
first I thought it was just...
No, go ahead.
At first I thought they were just being jokes. Because, I had the 20% off
Right.
discount.
Yep.
And it didn't have a date. So I was like, oh, they're totally just doing this so, they can save the $12. But check on GameStop, I didn't see it there. Because I was like, oh, maybe it's like a GameStop exclusive now. I was like, no, it's not there. I checked Walmart, I checked Target, and I was like, nope. So I was like, like, is this going to be a digital only game? Is something wrong with it? Is it getting pushed back? It's like, it's only this game too. It's not like any of the other games. It's not like Bayonetta 3. It's not like Metroid Prime 4. It's not Yoshi, because none of those have dates either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this game. It's bizarre.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people that were assuming the same thing you did, that like, oh, they don't want people getting this 20% off, so they're they were assuming they were going to continue to get emails like, oh, and this game got canceled and this game got canceled, because a lot of people
Exactly what I
pre-ordered
did.
a lot of
I
stuff.
went in my
so.
spam. I was like, okay, did I get any more? Because I have like 5 games on there, right now.
Right.
It doesn't have dates, but that's the only one that got canceled.
I'm hoping, because I saw the trailer for it and it looked really good. I'm hoping that people saw this, they saw the reaction to it, were like, oh, this was gonna be like a little indie game. Let's step it up a little bit because we got tons of people saying this looks awesome, and the story is only 5 hours long. Let's go back and change a couple things, and hopefully it's like one of those situations where it's delayed for the better.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great because that's and it's funny you say that because when they first showcased the game at E3, I was like, huh, is this just an indie title? You know what I mean? Like, not that it didn't come across as it looked like a very like well done indie title, but just being something that we had never really heard of, I was a little bit just kind of like in shock a little bit. Like, why is this the game? This isn't Mario. You know what I mean? This isn't Link. Like this seems strange to open with this, but yeah, I'm with you there. Like, hopefully they are seeing the overall reaction to it and just said, hey, let's pump the brakes. And that's the beauty of the Switch right now and all the third parties. Like, that can happen without leaving like gaping holes in the library like we had with the Wii U. So I hope that really is the case.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's we're going to get to our talking points.
Here we go!
All right. So I talked about it on Thursday a little bit, but I wanted to get Kirby's 2 cents on Bowsette. So go ahead, Mel. Tell us what you think.
It's actually kind of funny now because last week, just a couple days after this whole Bowsette thing, exploded, there's an art book for Odyssey, and there's actually like a little picture, and it's like Bowsette. It's not the Bowsette we all come to know and love from this
know and love
little creation. It actually looks more like Bowser, features and stuff. But it's so crazy. Like, they actually thought of that.
Yeah, that was really weird seeing that. I saw some tweets that went out a few days ago, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, that's kind of weird, but yeah, sure enough. And she was all green. She didn't, she definitely didn't look like Bowsette. She was all like, she looked more like Bowser, But
she had like the tail, like the green dress and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how does that happen? Like, how is that so close?
Weird. Yeah.
And then in that art book, it actually had like some other little drawings and stuff. Like, I saw like a Rosalina, she was playing a guitar. Like, she was just like in casual clothes. I'm like, why wasn't this in the game?
Right.
And
in like a coffee shop in New Donk City. Like, why is it like, her and KK Slider just rocking out?
Oh my god, they could have did like a duo set. Yes. That would have been amazing. I had that, and then I saw a Toadette Mario. So it was Mario and Toadette.
Oh, wow.
And there was a Luma one too.
Oh, that's funny.
When I saw this,
and use them again.
Yeah, when I saw this, I thought to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't. So like, maybe when I was a kid, I was naive, and I'm just like, okay, Bowser's stealing the princess constantly because he wants the princess to be his girlfriend or whatever like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, so Bowsette's been around this whole time? What if like Bowsette and like the princess are really long lost sisters, and he's just trying to bring them back together, and Mario keeps jumping in the way and ruining their reunion.
This is our first fanfic episode. I love it. Keep going.
Yeah. So it turns out apparently Mario's the enemy, the whole time. Right. He's the one preventing this. He's just the plumber that lives in the trailer park,
He is the villain.
Anyway,
Be just my luck. Well, after 22 years and 1 day, I finally completed Super Mario 64. It took me 3 hours yesterday, but we did it. We completed the game. Mel didn't think it would happen, right? You didn't believe.
Honestly, I didn't know. I thought it was gonna take like 2 more streams. I didn't think it was gonna be that stream. Because when he started playing, he got like 3 stars like within like 40 minutes. I'm like, whoa, 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 who's this guy? Like, this isn't Josh.
Yeah, I would have lost a lot of money on that bet.
Like, I'm gonna roll the credits. Watch it, Mel. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, put up YouTube credits like on the stream?
No, we did roll credits, but I mean, what was funny is like there were a few times like there's a rabbit that jumps around, right? And I tried to catch this rabbit on numerous occasions, and every time I would jump towards it, it would kind of phase through it, and I'm like, he must not be catchable, right? And then chat was like, I think Pudding was like, you haven't caught the rabbit yet? I'm like, dude, I tried, and I phased through him, and then as I was trying, I phased through him, and then eventually snagged him. And then Music Man Todd was like, if you have over 50 stars, you can catch him again, right? So it was like 2 stars, like one right after the other. And
What?
yeah.
It's just sitting on stars.
I was. So and here's the thing. I don't know. My game shows the cake that, and that's what's funny. Chat was like, oh, let's go make a cake. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, why are we, are we really making?
Cake is a lie.
Are we really making a cake? And then at the end of the game, you see Peach say, hey, let's go make you a cake. She kisses Mario on the nose, and spoilers, I guess. And then there's a picture of a cake that's now my pinned tweet on Twitter. And so here's the other thing that's kind of funny is on Saturday was the N64 and Super Mario 64. It was the 22nd birthday of that system. And my wife goes out, stops at a random garage sale, picks up 2 Wii U titles, 2 Wii titles, and the solid green N64 controller that has a stick that's not all messed up. So she's like, how weird, 22 years ago. I'm like, I know, it's crazy. But then one day later, finally rolled credits on Super Mario 64. And that last throw that I had to do with Bowser, I was off. I had to throw him like 3 extra times. I just kept missing. I had no health. I couldn't take another hit, so I had to dodge every time. Like, I don't know. The thing is, like, I kind of want to be able to go back to the game a little bit because in the chat, just watching, like, where I would get all the way up to the top of something and then fall, and everybody in chat would be like, "No!" and I'm like, "Come on!" The camera and everything in that game. It's tricky. It's not like a modern game. So, but hey, I finally did it. We had a good celebration in chat, and I can check one off the list finally.
It was the major one, so.
It was a major one.
We can remove that asterisk from your name now.
You can actually keep the N64 now.
Right,
so.
right. That's what. Yeah, I even wore my N64 shirt today, just for the occasion. So. So, all right. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode. Destinot, let us know where we can find you.
I usually hang out in the Discord that Josh has, or what is that? Discord/N64Josh.
N64Josh.com/Discord.
Whatever the kids are doing these days, yeah. I usually hang out there. I do have a Twitter. It's @iDestinot.
Are you like iCarly's uncle?
I think that predates iCarly.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Well, then you'd be her uncle.
iCarly.
You'd be her uncle then, right? Like.
No, I've never even seen the show.
I feel like if he
Josh,
was
70?
Yes.
her uncle, he would just like disown her, He's like, no, that's not my niece.
Right.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Not my
I don't know what you
favorite.
guys are talking about, but yes.
It's on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't. It's terrible. It's terrible. Mel, where can we find you?
In the Discord. That's gonna be the best place because I actually talk there.
Okay, right on. Right on, guys. You can follow me on Twitter @N64Josh. You can follow this show @NPowercast. Remember to follow me on Instagram because on Thursday, that's when I'm going to post the question for the show. And this coming Thursday, we have a Twitch streamer by the name of Cliffy, twitch.tv/Cliffy. And he's an awesome dude. He is a speedrunner, plays Super Mario Maker, and he does variety as well. Really good guy. Does great streams, so I'm excited to chat with him this week. It'll be a good time. If you want to check out the show notes for this episode, you can go to n64josh.com/npc133. You want to email the show, you've got questions, comments, concerns, whatever, npc@n64josh.com. Remember to get your free book from Audible by going to audibletrial.com/npc. Pick up Console Wars, it's awesome. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. If you go to n64josh.com/OP Seat, you automatically save $10 at checkout. If you want to get yourself an extra podcast each month, you can go to patreon.com/n64josh, and you have access to all of the old shows that are there as well. It's all unlocked to you for just $1. So there's different tiers available. You can go check that out. If I said episode 113, I meant to say 133. So it's n64josh.com/npc133. Thanks, Nightcrawler. Thanks, Chicken Little. Again, join our Discord, n64josh.com/discord, our Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. And lastly, guys, we're one review away from 200 reviews on iTunes. So if you like this show, please leave a review there. We'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.